everybody be well aware of the fact that he's not testifying in any case. And I think I've said before, you know, he wouldn't even testify in a traffic ticket, so he's not going to testify in another courtroom. He wants...
Whack 100, where you at, boy? Lucci you ain't got no paperwork on Luwak. Lucci the new king of Atlanta, man, straight up. All hail King Luwak, no cap. YouTube fam, bam, what? Poppin' folk, what happened with y'all, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to another video. I go by Dunn. If you new, go ahead and rock out with the kid, man. Y'all know how we get down, man. We in Atlanta, man. We in Atlanta today, man. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my city. Yeah, I mean, even though, like, I know the whole Gucci Man debacle, man, it got everybody like, man, Atlanta be ratting, man. Atlanta, man. I still love the city, bro. Atlanta's a beautiful city. Hey, bro, like, have y'all ever been to the Battery where the Braves play at, dog? Bro, you ain't even got to have a good time. Like, you ain't got to wait until the Braves play to have a good time down there, bro. Like, it blew my mind. Y'all should go. Have y'all ever been to Mercedes-Benz, bro? When the Falcons play? Man, come on, man. Man, bro. Me and my old lady went one year, bro. My aunt, she worked for the facility, bro. Man, she took us down there, man. Bro. We ain't gonna even speak on Magic City and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because I don't even do that no more. You smell me? But if you a single man, bro, and that's how you get down, and you got a little extra change, yeah, go experience that Atlanta nightlife. You know what I mean? Shout out to the city, man. You know what I mean? We still got some real ones in there. You know what I mean? I think so. I don't know. Hell, they say all on snitching. Crazy hell. But hey, we gotta talk about this Yfn Lucci case, man. Y'all know when Lucci basically did the drive-by. I thought it was on Woody. I don't know who it was on, but whoever he did the drive-by on, bro, they weren't having it, and his homie ended up dying. You know what I mean? So we gonna tap into that. Shout out my dog, Dose of Mystery, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, hype, subscribe to his channel, man. But do the same over here, folks. Let's get into this doc, though.
We don't know about me and my sister. We were just walking down the street and somebody just rolled down the street with a man hanging on the car. They just pushed him out the truck and left him. Man, my sister said he was in the head. Yes, he is in the head. They threw him out the car. He just his last breath.
Oh my God.
Popular Atlanta rapper wanted for murder is in jail this morning.
Bro, you're in a murder case. Your homeboy got in your car and y'all tried to go slide and your homeboy got that is your.
It happened on the night of December 10th, 2020, in southwest Atlanta. 4 men loaded into a white SUV. Their destination, an area of Atlanta known to be controlled by a rival crew. Behind the wheel was Rayshawn Bennett, better known as Yfn Lucci. The plan?
Shout out my dog, Luwak.
Prosecutors would later say was to strike first, a show of force, a warrant.
Y'all know something crazy, though? Y'all know, man, I'm Mr. Stop Video. Sorry. But we're going to try not to stop it that much, because I know a lot of y'all don't like that. But a lot of y'all be liking when I be giving my takes and things of that nature. But I think that it's crazy as hell that Lucci did a drive-by in a Maybach. But it leads me to know that they didn't plan on doing no drive-by. Like, I'm pretty sure it was a million other cars they could have hopped in, bro. Like, to do a drive-by in a Maybach, it had to be spur of the moment. You saw your ops, you knew where they were going or something like that. You feel me? But one thing this did do, though, it kind of solidified Lucci, you know what I'm saying? And we realized Lucci was tied up in some shit. I ain't capping. We realized that, cuz, after that, straight up.
A message. Gunfire erupted from inside the SUV, but they weren't the only ones shooting. A second volley answered back. Chaos inside the car. One of the shooters, James Adams, took a bullet to the head. The SUV didn't stop. It kept moving. Bleeding and unconscious, Adams was dragged to the door. A witness would later describe it. A body hanging out of the vehicle, shoved from the moving car onto the pavement. He was still alive.
He was wanted in connection to the shooting of James Adams on People Street in December. Another person was hurt in that shooting and survived. Police say 3 people were tied to the crime. 2 other men are already charged.
At around 5:10 p.m., police were called to the 900 block of Demock Street, not far from People Street. When officers arrived, they found a man lying motionless on the ground, blood pooling beneath his head. A witness who called 911 told dispatchers they had seen Adams being pushed from a moving SUV. He hit the pavement face first. The car never stopped.
On December 10th, 2020, Atlanta police say they found a 28-year-old James Adams in the face. They rushed him to a local hospital where he... A short time later, a second man, 32-year-old Kevin Wright, showed up to a nearby firehouse having been shot in the abdomen. He survived, and authorities gathered the two shootings were related.
As paramedics rushed to transport Adams to Grady Memorial Hospital, another report came in. A second man, Kevin Wright, had just shown up at a nearby fire station with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. It became obvious that he'd been injured.
Oh boy, must be watching 911, cause he like y'all ever watch 911? Like, before I started watching 911, I didn't know that firemen, they are trained just like the ambulance folk. Like, they can say, yo, like, do CPR and things of that nature. I always thought all they did was just put out fires. Then I started watching 911, and I was like, damn, the fire folk, hey, they kind of dope, nigga. Not only do they put out fire, nigga, like, if you about to die in the fire, they can grab the AED. You down now. You know what I'm saying? They can do their thing.
Same shooting. Police quickly realized this was not a random drive-by. It was a coordinated assault. And according to investigators, Yfn Lucci'S downfall started inside that white SUV.
We need to locate 29-year-old Rayshawn Bennett. He's wanted in connection with the shooting of 28-year-old James Adams on December 10th,
Shot over there banging like hell, ain't it?
2020.
Before the body hit the pavement,
I swear I saw her throw a CRIP, Mark.
in the RICO case, Lucci was a rising star. Born in the Summerhill neighborhood in 1991, he grew up surrounded by music, struggle, and street pressure. By his teenage years, he was rapping under the name Yfn Lucci. Yfn, short for Young Fly, the same initials that would later show up in the police indictments.
Young Fly nigga about cash, because it got a BC at the end, so it's Young Fly nigga about cash.
In 2016, Lucci broke through with Keys to the Streets, a booming anthem featuring Migos and Trouble. The track spread fast.
Oh, those. I mean, we from the South, but bruh, everybody know what song took Lucci through there. I paid my dude. Don't play, you lose. Probably wouldn't walk a mile in them. Do you know how much I paid for these shoes? I was mad in the dude. A nigga never played by the rule. Nigga tried to play back in high school. Yeah, I walked around and made it new. I never been a sucker. Man, come on, man. Every day we lit or whatever he just said, we wasn't even really feeling that one like that, to be honest. I guess mainstream media was, but that, I wonder why somebody ain't be fake, yeah. Don't let your face out on me, girl. You know what I mean? No care.
Blogs picked it up. The streets played it on loop. Lucci wasn't just local anymore. He followed it with the 2017 EP, Long Live Nut, a tribute to Big Nut. His
Long live Nut, man. Long live Big Nut. No cap.
Tour and close friend who had been shot and hit in Atlanta 2 years earlier. The project debuted at number 27 on the Billboard 200, and its lead single, Every Day We Lit, featured P&B Rock, climbed to number 33.
Long live P&B Rock, but there's a lot of death in this video. I'm gonna have to goddamn, I don't know, we're gonna have to pray after this. Long live P&B Rock, folks.
On the Hot 100, making it Lucci's highest charted hit at the time.
We ain't ready to start competition and try and compete with each other.
Yeah.
Smell.
If it is, it's friendly competition, like, you know what I mean, and inspiring each other to go hard.
Like, oh man, I gotta go in. My budget went hard. I gotta go hard.
Real talk.
But not like, oh, I gotta be better than him. You know, no, we family. If he get better than me, hey, we family.
You might have to go and redo your verse.
Yeah, I gotta.
In interviews, Lucci played the role of a quiet grinder, someone who made it out, someone who was staying solid. But the deeper he got into fame, the more the streets followed him in. He was one of the faces of Yfn, a crew tied to the Bloods, with heavy influence in both Atlanta and Miami. He was shooting music videos in housing projects no other rapper could enter, posting from blocks like the Pork and Beans in Overtown, Florida. Prosecutors would later claim these weren't just rap shoots. They were signs of leadership inside a criminal enterprise. Lucci, for his part, kept putting out music. The music made it sound like competition. The streets knew better. This was war. Yfn and YSL are two rap crews with deep roots in Atlanta, both linked to the Bloods, both building reputations, and both watching each other closely. At the center of YSL was Young Thug, the eccentric superstar from Cleveland Avenue. Avenue. On the other side, Lucci from Summerhill, backed by the name of a man who was already deceased. Before
y'all know something crazy though? Like Thug and Lucci really weren't ever supposed to beef. I don't think so. Like, it's deeper than Yfn and YSL, bro. Way deeper, but you kind of gotta be tapped in just a little bit to know how deep it really was or is. You feel me? Like, the only reason Thug and Lucci, they say it was over a female. I don't know. Thug say it wasn't, but as soon as Lucci say he cracked the girl, Thug left her ass. So I don't know, but I think the only reason that Thug and Lucci kind of got like all the tension they had with each other was because both of them were the faces of their crews, bro. Of their hoods, of their blocks. Like it was deeper than YSL and Yfn, bro. It was like hood beef, bro. Like gang ties, you know what I mean? And Lucci ain't even in no gang. Lucci is not a blood. I mean he run with 9 Deuce. I think his brother K is a real deal stepper for real. Not saying Lucci ain't no stepper, cause he proved he a step. But Lucci was just a nigga who could rap. You know what I mean? I don't think Lucci was really a real street guy like that. Like, I don't think he was a nincompoop. You feel me? Straight up.
Lucci and Thug exchanged threats. Before the gang war escalated, came January 10th, 2015, a date that changed everything. That day, Donovan Thomas Jr., known around Atlanta as Big Nut, was executed in a drive-by shooting outside a barbershop in Castleberry Hill. He was 26. Reliable sources confirm he was hit by masked assailants in a passing car. Nut was more than just a victim. He was Lucci's close friend and mentor. His passing shocked the city and fueled immediate suspicion and rumors. Many in Lucci's camp believed YSL-affiliated shooters were behind the attack. When Fulton County prosecutors later unveiled the RICO case in 2021 and 2022, they labeled this feud a criminal enterprise, citing these incidents as a part of a systematic war. The shooting on December 10th, 2020, triggered an immediate manhunt for those involved, with the big name at the center, Yfn Lucci.
An Atlanta rapper wanted for Atlanta police are searching for rapper Yfn Lucci in connection to the shooting of 2 men. The rapper, whose real name is Rashawn Bennett, is charged with in the death of James Adams. Adams was in Atlanta about a month ago on Peoples Street. Another man who was shot is recovering from his injuries.
Local authorities confirmed that 2 men had already been arrested, yet police were still searching for Lucci.
It's important. He's not accused of actually shooting someone. He's accused of being the driver in a drive-by where they were shooting at other people. And the fellow who was sitting next to him who was shooting at the other people was by return fire. But because he was in an act that was criminal, like his is a murder, and Lucci eats the felony charge as a result.
He had been identified as the alleged driver of the SUV.
A special thanks to the Miami Police Department, the Miami-Dade Police Department, the U.S. Attorney's...
Oh, I know for a fact she threw up CRIP, bro. I know. I saw it with my own eye. I saw it, Mark.
Office in Miami and the FBI field office in Miami for the apprehension of Mr. Boyd and Mr. Pitts.
A $5,000 reward was offered for information leading to Lucci's location. On January 13th, 2021, Lucci turned himself in, arriving at Fulton County Jail in custody.
Atlanta police tell Inside Edition Digital that rapper Yfn Lucci, a staple in the Atlanta hip-hop scene, has turned himself in on several charges, including...
He was booked on 4 charges: felony homicide for Adams, aggravated assault, participation in criminal street gang activity, and possession of a firearm during a felony.
1 day later, he was driving with that SUV with 3 gentlemen who were from Miami, a couple of who were aspiring to be musicians as well, rappers. And they drove through an area of town and a shootout ensued. And one of the people in his car, he was driving. So the only thing that Lucci, who's Ray, to us, we all call him Ray, the only thing that he ever did was hold on to the steering wheel. One of the guys in the back seat was shot.
Authorities confirmed James Adams was a member of Lucci's crew. At his first court appearance, Lucci's legal team disputed the charges, saying a preliminary review of the evidence found no basis for the hit charges. But their arguments weren't enough for now. Lucci was held without bond, left in Fulton County Jail as prosecutors built their case.
Man, you could tell they were trying to fry Lucci because if it's 4 people in the car, 1 died. So they charged all of the people in the car with murder or just Lucci? That's what I'm missing. I guarantee they probably charged all along with murder, though.
For 2021, the shooting that hit James Adams had become more than a hit. It was part of a sweeping RICO indictment.
As time went on, that case became a RICO case. And so apparently there were other investigative efforts that have been taking place globally in the city of Atlanta during a period of years. And they kind of swallowed up the December 10th incident and made it a RICO case with a total of 11 people, incorporating all.
They tried to hang him, bro. They tried to hang Lou out, no cap.
A 105-count grand jury in Fulton County handed down charges against Lucci and 11 others, alleging they were part of a blood-affiliated gang called Yfn, accused of racketeering, felonies, and violent crimes. The district attorney called it a wide-ranging 6-month investigation targeting those who use music and street retaliations to bolster their gang's power. Prosecutors linked Lucci to more than just a drive-by hit. He was accused of organizing a criminal enterprise, leveraging his fame and crew to wield power in Atlanta and beyond. They alleged he tried to hide the vehicle and guns used in the December 2020 shooting. The indictment cited posts and lyrics, including a social media line said to read, "When I get drunk, I think about dropping bodies." Prosecutors argued such content showcased gang intent and promoted retaliatory attacks for reputation.
They were trying to say that YFN was, that he was part of YFN, which was associated with the Bloods. And of course, they were introducing music and serving us with, music. And as I told Lucci, I've listened to so much of his music, not for any reason other than to try to figure out how there was some relationship between him and Bloods because of, red clothing.
The indictment also detailed an August 2020 incident where Lucci allegedly strangled a man for playing music tied to rival gangs, then attempted to bribe him into silence. In court, Lucci's attorney, Drew Feinling, pushed back hard, being quoted as saying, "He's not a gang member. He's an internationally recognized musical artist. Taking him out of his rap career and labeling him a leader is something this law was never built to do." Feinling argued lyrics and Instagram posts are artistic expression, not indictments. But for prosecutors, these were proof of intent and coordination, forming the backbone of the RICO charges. As a result, Lucci faced not just one hit charge, but the risk of decades behind bars, as prosecutors argued he was a leader of a violent criminal enterprise.
They know it was your car. They know you was driving. Like, bro, it's not, you're going to jail regardless. That's the thing. He's going to jail regardless. Now, they just want you to basically ruin your whole name and, snitch on Thugger. And snitch on Thugger for what? Nigga, you was beefing with. How can you snitch on Thugger? You can't snitch on Thugger about shit. Nigga, y'all niggas was beefing. Y'all was at war.
But Fulton County Jail wasn't just holding Lucci. It was holding enemies. On February 9th, 2022, court documents and media reports revealed that Lucci had been stabbed from behind by an inmate wielding a homemade shank, all while he was on a video call. Surveillance video of the stabbing was later leaked online, and according to court findings, this wasn't random. There were accusations that 2 associates of YSL crew worked to get permission from Young Thug to make a second attempt to hit Lucci inside jail. Lucci's legal team filed an emergency bond motion claiming his life was in danger. They stated he was stabbed with a homemade weapon. He is being housed in protective custody, but despite precautions, he was still attacked. Despite their urgency, the judge again denied bond, citing his prior violations and risk to public safety. The case took another turn when the spotlight shifted to another Atlanta superstar, Young Thug. The state of Georgia brought forward its YSL RICO indictment, a sweeping case that named over 24 defendants, and prosecutors saw a potential star witness, Lucci. But Lucci never folded.
But you gotta think too, though, Lucci was willing to hold it down. Lucci wasn't gonna testify.
Despite a history of street...
Crazy thing is, all them other niggas from YSL told like hell, bro. Them niggas told, man. And somebody who felt like these guys had something to do with unaliving one of his best homies, man. He just kept it solid, bro. Cause he was like, this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, crazy though. Especially facing, man, they tried to get Lucci about 200 years, man.
Retaliations between the two camps, and even after allegedly being stabbed in jail by YSL affiliate inmates, Lucci refused to cooperate. In public filings, his lawyer Drew Feinling made it clear Rashawn Bennett, Lucci, was not testifying in any trial. He has not been offered anything in exchange for testimony, and he would never accept such an offer.
We continue to say we want nothing to do with YSL case, with nothing to do with it. But we felt the prosecution was talking out of both sides of their mouth. On the one hand, they're calling him a victim, right? Saying he's he's a victim. And they're going to one courtroom and saying he's a victim, and another courtroom saying he should get life without parole.
Yeah, that's
because
crazy.
Remember, in Georgia, that felony
that DA
was
love
an
for
LWOP
yeah
case,
right
carried
now,
life without parole. And our position was consistently, you can't have it both ways.
Through court drama, jail attacks, and social pressure, Lucci stuck to a single code: don't snitch.
We've been very clear publicly, which was very important to Ray, that everybody be well aware of the fact that he's not testifying in any case. And I think I've said before, you know, he wouldn't even testify in a traffic ticket, so he's not going to testify in another courtroom. He wants...
Whack 100, where you at, boy? Lucci you ain't got no paperwork on Luwop. Lucci the new king of Atlanta, man, straight up. All hail King Luwop, no cap.
As far from courtrooms as possible. He sat through over 2 weeks of jury selection. I know it's enough to burn out most people, and he's one of them.
His silence didn't just guard his freedom. It set the stage for the deal that would follow. For nearly 3 years, Lucci sat in jail, fighting charges that could have ended his life as he knew it. But behind the scenes, things were shifting. His attorney, Drew Finley, a powerhouse known for representing high-profile artists
the
like
$1 billion
Boosie, kept
lawyer,
pushing,
man.
kept negotiating.
Drew is one, he got a passion for what the criminal system are doing to the rap. That's one of his passions. He don't like that at all. But he see that we good people. You know, he don't look.
Man, how the hell you a good person, Boosie? Nigga, you's a murderer, nigga. I know you murder other bad people, so what? You want us to think you was damn, you what we should just call you Batman or some shit? Let the pot calling the kettle black hell. Well, we're good people. Even though we were on death row for murder. Even though we sent children to kill people, we're great people. But only God can judge you though, boo. Only God can judge you, bro.
Us like somebody else would, and he's one of the best at it, man.
And then something broke. In January 2024, just as jury selection was wrapping up, after more than 100 jurors had been questioned, Lucci's legal team quietly struck a deal with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office.
At the end of the second week of jury selection, things started developing. At first at 20 miles an hour, and then eventually at 120-mile-an-hour pace. And during the third week of jury selection, so going to your point earlier, we had just questioned 115 potential jurors. We still had another week and a half of jury selection, but we were deep in the process. I mean, opening statements were ready, cross-examinations were prepared. I mean, we were in the game.
It was dramatic, swift, and unexpected.
When the case came to a sudden, dramatic end, I can't really give you the behind the scenes, but I can tell you that we were stubborn from the very beginning on what was acceptable to us and what was not acceptable to us. And first and foremost was we wanted nothing to do with the death of Mr. Adams on December 10th of 2020.
Lucci pled guilty to one count of violating the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act.
How do you plead to count 69 in indictment 23 SC 188921?
In exchange, all remaining charges, including felony hit, were dropped. He was sentenced to 20 years, with 10 years to serve on probation, and time already served counting towards the remainder. Even more surprising, prosecutors agreed to submit a letter to the parole board in support of Lucci, noting his cooperation with the plea and good conduct in jail.
He pled to being an associate in a gang-related charge, and he got a 10-year sentence with 10 years of probation. Because of the charge, because it wasn't the homicide charge. The homicide charge would have required 85% of the 10 years. The RICO would have required substantial amount of the 10 years. But because of the charge that he pled to, under the parole guidelines, he's eligible in 1/3 of 10 years.
Lucci walked out shortly after the hearing, a free man.
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even accidents that seem minor can...
Hey, man, shout out Luwop, man. You know what I mean? And long live James Adams, man. You know, Lucci rapped about him in one of his records when he say, they say they could my man out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Lucci. But I don't know, man. Like, it still proved that being street can only get you a few places, man. Dead or in jail. Like, Lucci wasted, what? Like 6-7 years of his life just being street. You know what I mean? When he didn't even have to do that, he was a superstar. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he changed his ways. I'm glad him and Thug, you know what I'm saying, let bygones be bygones, man. They showed that they were men, because I think that beef was never supposed to be with Lucci and Thug. I just don't believe that. Anyway, Shout out to the city, man. Shout out today. You did? Hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this motherfucker in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like that video. Be so. Make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you hit all. After you hit all, man, make sure you hype the video. You know what I'm saying? Hype. Do that for that kid. Just shoot at me. Mark life or no life. Mark well know it. You know I be coming OT and we gonna get it out the mud every single day. I love y'all, man. And I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow, folks. Let's get it. Gang. You know we got the streets, nigga. We got the trap too. I say my trap doing numbers, I just bust another jewel, got a player around the corner, hey. I say my trap doing numbers like that 05 summer, got a quarter pound on me, hey. The trap doing numbers.